sports anime can be a divisive genre. Now, I'm making the bold assumption that many anime fans out there aren't the kind of people who tend to watch sports all that much in real life, so why bother watching it in anime form? This argument I sort of understand, as I usually, personally, I kind of avoid mech shows, mostly because I don't find the concept of robots all that interesting. I don't really know what it really is about it. I don't know. It kind of pushes me away. Some of my favorite shows do have robots in them, so it's kind of contradictory. But just the idea of robots can kind of push me away at times, and I can see maybe how sports pushes people away at times. But I think if you're the kind of person that skips an anime just because it has a sports theme, then I think you're really missing out on something. Like I could be probably missing out on a lot of great anime just because it has mechs in it. Now I played football for several years, and I consider myself to be a sort of rare athletic, in a lot of air quotes, anime fan. I played sports all of my life and continued through college. Did football and did track. In many cases, I found myself to be very different from my peers when I played sports. In the fact that if I was watching anime at that time or reading manga or something like that, and a lot of the people that had that same sort of were into that same hobby as playing sports weren't into my other hobbies, and I felt kind of isolated like that. So I can see how maybe the two worlds don't really blend all that well all of the time. Does this show break that barricade? No. I don't think it does, but it is pretty enjoyable. Now, Eyeshield 21, for those of you who don't know, is based off of a manga by Riichiro Inagaki and Yusuke Murata, and it began as Shonen Jump back in 2002. It had a 7-year run, ending with volume 37 in 2009, and an anime adaptation aired from 2005 to 2008, which lasted, I believe, 148 episodes. The story revolves around a teenager named Senna, who has amazing natural speed, which he usually uses to escape bullies as he's kind of small in stature and kind of a wuss. He now, at the beginning of the series, attends high school with his childhood friend Mamori, who is a little older than him and has been kind of defending him from bullies since childhood, and she's kind of Senna's main love interest, at least so far in the series. One day, while escaping some bullies, Senna's speed gets noticed by the captain of the football team, Haruma, as well as this giant, gentle giant dude, the offensive lineman Kurita. And they recruit him to their very small fledgling American football team that they have at this Japanese high school. Now, the sport isn't super popular where they are, as I don't think it's very popular at all in Japan, but especially at this school, the team barely has any members on it, and Senna at first kind of just joins the team because he sort of kind of feels bad for them, but he's also kind of pressured into it because he is a wuss, and the captain of the football team is very demonic looking and just a very strong presence and kind of really bullies Senna into doing it. But Senna does struggle to hide the fact that he is playing football from Mamori, because he's really worried that Mamori, who's always been there for him and to protect him from bullies and stuff like that since he was a kid, is going to really worry about him if he's playing a contact sport like that. And probably rightly so. As she's always worrying about him, and he kind of has this this Zorro-like effect where he has this. That's where the Eyeshield comes in. So he wears a visor while he plays, and if you don't know, the visors in football cover your eyes and everything, so you can't really tell that it's Senna. It just looks like some short, fast dude who is around only when Senna isn't around, which Mamori, as smart as she is, can't seem to put together just yet, but that's another thing. So that's how he hides the fact that he's been playing football from Mamori. And at first, he kind of struggles to understand the game, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about this show, is that it goes to great lengths to explain the game of American football to, I think, a lot of people who probably have barely heard of it or know very little about it, given it was, airing for a Japanese audience. Even the commercial breaks, it reminded me of, in Pokemon, where it had, "Who's that Pokemon? It's Weezing," or something. This is a Meto Clinic. where Meto is like American football, I believe. So these little clinics that are narrated by Mamori that give you some insight in some of the rules and how to play American football, which, as a big football fan, I really enjoyed. Like, it was cool seeing people like try and explain and the idea of people trying to learn this game, that I really love. And I think it does a good job for what it's trying to do. I mean, obviously I'm not the target for that kind of thing, but I feel like they explained it so well that it'd be kind of difficult to not really understand it afterward. They kind of hammer it into you at times. But yeah, I thought that was a cool touch to the show. So another thing that I really like about it so far, again, just 25 episodes in, is some of the characters. I mean, it's sort of a mixed bag. But I really like Mamori, because I really like how protective she is of Senna, and she's really loyal to Senna and really cares about him, and is always like looking out for him. Like, I wish I had a Mamori like in my life, especially back then and even now. Like, I wish it'd be nice. Yeah, it's a very lonely thought. It's nice. It'd be nice to have a girl like worry about you that much. I really like Hiruma, who's the quarterback and sort of like team captain. He's like that demonic, scary dude. He's always like shooting guns, and I don't know how he's just allowed to have guns. It just happens. And he's very intimidating, and he blackmails people to play football a lot of the time, and it's just funny to see how he actually recruits people to his team. I like Kurita as well. He's the big offensive lineman. He's kind of a big goofball. He's really, really strong. He's really huge, especially in when he's standing next to other characters. He just looks like a mammoth. Senna, I'm not a huge fan of. He kind of reminds me of, and this is another main character of a series, Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Another one of my favorite shows. But I don't like how much of like a wuss that this kind of like main character is, and I get it. He's like a guy in a shonen manga, so he's not supposed to be like perfect and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just find him kind of annoying, and he has some loyalties. Like he's kind of loyal to the team, but he just runs away and whines too much. But the show has a cool opening song as well. I mean, it's not really about the series itself, but that opener, I really, really like that. I'll play that in my earphones at the gym. Check out the first opening, even if you don't check out the show. I think it's pretty good. The show, like I said, I like the characters. The stuff that I don't really like, the animation's alright. I mean, it's kind of an older show, so I can't really give it too much flack for that. I don't like how it's starting to already feel kind of dragged out. 25 episodes in, and I feel like they could have like wrapped it up already. And I see on Crunchyroll that I got 100 and something episodes remaining, and this ended in 2008. So it's a warning that the manga continued, I believe, until 2009. So that's kind of a bummer for me that I know that it's probably not going to be a complete story after this really, really long journey, or it might have some kind of rushed weird ending. I don't know. Please don't spoil me about it. I'd like to figure it out myself. Yeah, I think I will continue this series. You'll probably see a review of it down the line. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Eyeshield 21. I know this manga has a really big following, and 37 volumes long. And I know it's a big collector's item I see in the Anime Dojo and stuff like that all the time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Is the manga way better? Am I doing the wrong thing by watching the anime first or skipping the manga entirely? And how do you guys feel about sports anime in general? Yeah, as always, guys, this is Brian from Gyre Media, signing out.